Welcome back. Episode number 10 of the Money
Wow.
Sauce podcast. We uh we completed our Christmas week. I don't know about you, but my Christmas wishes were not under the Christmas tree. There
Oh,
is still
bummer.
no NHL team in Hamilton. Uh,
we'll uh
uh
we'll have to wait for Christmas in July regarding an eighth keeper, so
yeah, absolutely. Well, as we were recording last week, there was some actually breaking at the time, but breaking-ish news that came through. Um, the Leafs decided, as we were recording, real nice of them to do it then, that they were going to part ways with assistant coach Mark Savard. So Mark Savard was hired at June of 2024 to be an assistant coach for the Leafs. And here he is in December 2025, fired. That didn't last very long, now did it?
no, no, not at all. He didn't even make it through the year.
No.
He was hired in June.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they really didn't give him much of a chance there. So then on Friday they
Why do you
announced
think
that
that was? Why do you think they didn't give him a chance?
at this point, like, it's just not working, and they need to blame someone. And
Right.
they're not ready to get rid of the coach. They're not ready to get rid of the GM, which, okay. Like we talked about before, Shanahan's gone, and that hasn't seemed to been great. But there's no new president to blame, of the Leafs specifically, anyways. Um, Someone's got to be on the chopping block, I guess. Seems like an easy out to give maybe a fan base that is looking for more from this team something.
You know what? I wouldn't even say it's to please the fan base. Um, Part of it might be because this fan base is crazy. If this
Hmm.
is what, you know, it's a very reactionary fire somebody, like the rumblings about Craig Berube um, being fired. It's like he just got here. Like, I know it's easier to change the coach than it is the players, but like, settle down. So it's probably valid in terms of like the power play sucks, but you lost. Like this offense revolved around Mitch Marner. I understand Austin Matthews had that 69 goal season, and is a superstar. But like without anyone to get him the puck, he's struggled. He's always battling some sort of injury. And like everything revolved around Mitch Marner on the offense, dishing people the puck. When their power play struggled, they took off a defenseman and put Mitch Marner there. So it's this is all just like, well, what do you expect? Like you lost a 100-point player who did everything you asked him to do, and you replaced him with a bunch of spare parts.
Hmm.
With all due respect to the people who came in, I don't even know their names. It's not their fault, but just
No,
so it's just
absolutely
like
not.
the coaching isn't the problem. We know the whole fan base knows that, I think. But like last year, you pushed the Florida Panthers to 7 games, and in Game 6 was some of the best hockey we've ever seen from that group. And now you're struggling. So I don't know. I don't think anyone expects this to fix anything. I think
No.
management. I would think they're hoping this kind of shakes the players, wakes them up a little bit. But we know that this group is thoroughly apathetic when they want to be.
Absolutely, yeah. So then the question is, um, on Friday they brought in former left wing for the Leafs, Steve Sullivan. He was down with the Marlies as an assistant coach to take Mark Savard's spot there. Any feel for that meaning anything different? Because honest with you, I'm going to be really honest with you. I wasn't even aware that he was a coach with the Marlies until this week.
I couldn't tell you
Um, yeah,
anyone on the Marlies. Tell you Easton
there.
Cowan should be on the Marlies, but that's probably for another segment. Um, yeah, like it's really when I he has to take that job, I guess, because he's the next guy in line for it to be
Yeah,
called up
sure.
from the Marlies. But like he's walking into a poop storm,
Yeah,
you know. Like good
yeah,
luck to him.
yeah,
But like it's kind of he's a sitting duck there because should Berube go, and I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't. But should he go, Steve Sullivan's not going to stay. The new guy's going to bring in his own guys. So he's just keeping it warm for whoever's next.
yeah. It has that feel to it, doesn't it? Um,
Yeah,
and
I
like
think
you
so. But
said,
it's NHL experience for him for wherever he goes next.
sure. Well, like you said, there's the rumors out there about Berube. So let's keep rolling into the next note from the breaking ish news. Apparently, a few days ago, Peter DeBoer reached out to Craig Berube and actually write to him to squash any kind of rumors that are out there saying that he would be the next in line to be the head coach of the Maple Leafs. So he straight up said like ignore the noise. I haven't spoken to the Maple Leafs about taking your job. Like he's going to the Olympics as an assistant coach. That's what he's worried about with Team Canada. Um, like basically, I guess one coach to another. Don't worry, I'm not going to take your job. And this
Who
is
is the
interesting.
coaching staff for Team Canada? Sorry.
That's a great question. I know Peter DeBoer is one of the assistant coaches, but I can pull that up. But in the meanwhile, weird, first of all, that, well, maybe this happens. I don't know, right? Um, but weird that it is such a news note. Like it feels to me this is the kind of thing that only happens in Toronto. Maybe not only Toronto, maybe Montreal or something like that too. But
Yeah.
like, what? Why is it such a note that he reached out when he clearly has something else on his plate in terms of a coaching position, temporary as it may be? Like,
It's a coveted position.
I don't know what to say other than like he's got a job that he's working on for now, anyways. But what? Like,
This
I don't
this is
know. This would
news
be
because the owners of the team who own the media want to squash the rumor. That's the only reason it's news.
fair, fair. I
And
did
that's
not
my
think
first
about
thought.
that. I did not even think about that, but yeah,
That's the only
that's a
it's the only
fair
reason it makes
assessment.
sense to me because it's a nothing burger. Why do I
Yeah,
why do I care who Peter DeBoer is calling if it's not the players for Team Canada?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. I don't know. Anyway, to answer your question, John Cooper is going to be the head coach.
John Cooper? Okay.
Yeah, from Tampa there, and then
Because my other
he's
thought was, oh, if Berube is part of that coaching staff, then it makes sense. Gonna quash that beef before so people know about that they're on good terms. But other than that, yeah, I just think it's ownership trying to settle the fan base down.
very possible. It's
I really
interesting
believe
because,
it doesn't matter who comes in to coach these guys. Like they are who
well,
they are.
yeah, I agree with that, and I think I think more and more coaching is I don't want to use the word overrated, but it's the word that comes to mind. A lot of these guys just kind of trade teams that they're coaching.
It's like a big
And
carousel.
yeah, and like if you're coming in and you're basically just saying, you're playing a minute less this this game, you're playing a minute more, that kind of like, is it that big of a difference?
I don't know. Like initially I want to be like, it doesn't matter. But like the NHL is so competitive, any edge you can kind of get matters, you know? So if that's in your system, that's how you play the game, it matters. Like if you're gonna have these guys play the trap or whatever systems out there. Like I do think it does matter, but so much of it is the character of the team. Like are they gonna
Right.
buy into it? Right? Are they gonna listen to a guy who's so temporary at the best of times? Like I was listening to the radio today and suddenly they're like, Sheldon Keefe era doesn't seem so bad now, does it?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like some of these coaches, the one that comes to mind is John Tortorella.
Yeah.
I think Mike Milbury was kind of like this at points too, and I guess Berube did have a little bit of this, um, but not to the extent that Tortorella did. Is this, hey, I'm the hothead. I'm gonna come in, and these guys are gonna I'm gonna shake it up right away. But that has been known to dissipate too, right? Like so, even the ones that are known to be big impacts, like on their way in,
Yeah.
tend to fizzle out too. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough, and we don't have the experience or the knowledge to know what it's like to. I mean, our the only coaches that we've ever dealt with were basically, hey, you're playing house league hockey. Did you get your ice time in? So
Well, as a former head coach for an 8-year-old team back in 2003, as the head coach, I will tell you, double shifting your centers will get you yelled at by parents. That's my coaching advice.
there you go. So that's why you didn't last.
Our power play never connected, so we just
uh, well, you know which team has been connecting lately. One
who's that?
more, the Buffalo Sabres. And that makes me
Oh,
so happy to say. Last night they
they
won
hurt
a
us.
game, and it's 9 in a row for the Sabres.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Those
it's
chuckleheads.
just a couple stats during this 9 game win streak. So goals allowed per game, 1.89. So less than 2 goals allowed per game. That would give them nine, a 0.929 save percentage. So
Okay.
goaltending's been good
Okay.
for them. Their blocking shots too. They're averaging 17.91, so almost 18 blocks per 60 minutes, so per game. So, the goalies are doing their part, but the players are also blocking those shots. They've only taken 25 penalties in this 9 game win streak. And I think the stat that speaks most to what's going on here. You've gotten some good goaltending, but 10 different players have scored multiple goals during this 9 game win streak. So everyone's contributing offensively.
I saw Bowen Byram got picked up, who I dropped a while back. He's a defenseman for them.
Hmm.
The fact that I have to clarify that tells you how insignificant he's been. But he's been picked up and he's been playing great. And it's almost like, oh man, I shouldn't have dropped him. But no. He was
Yeah.
worth dropping. But
I'm just
definitely after this win streak deserves to be on a team. So
sure. I'm just happy the Sabres are Are they going to be a playoff team? Time will tell, but I'm just happy to see that something nice is happening for that team. It's
Well,
been a
are
long
they
time.
hoping for a tank? Are they wanting to rebuild? Like, what's their?
I'm going to go ahead and say no based on this. Um, they haven't moved on from Owen Power, Tage Thompson, and those guys yet, so I don't. I
They've got to
believe
close
that.
some good young guys, but
Yeah.
hopefully they buy in and stick around. Fun Buffalo note: we were supposed to travel to Buffalo yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were gonna go. We booked a hotel by. We're gonna go visit the Children's Museum. There's like a nice outdoor rink by the hotel. And of course, yesterday we wake up to news about Buffalo being under a flood advisory, blizzard advisory, 70-mile-an-hour wind advisory.
Hmm.
So we canceled.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
mean,
disappointed I didn't get out to Buffalo, which I didn't think I'd ever say that in my life. But there you go.
anytime I can't go to Buffalo, I'm disappointed I can't go to Buffalo.
Well, you go to the football games.
The football games, the AAA baseball games, the Sabres games, it's all fun. The Bandits games. Um, there's a couple great craft breweries out there that I like. There's a couple of nice little restaurants. Like, listen, I'm not gonna lie, it's a rough city, but there's pockets, and I think that city's making a comeback. So there's a lot of love in my heart for Buffalo.
There you go.
And, oh, don't forget the Galleria Mall for all your shopping needs, right? This episode
Cheesecake
brought to
Factory
you
shout out.
by Travel Buffalo.
Are you getting paid? Do we have our first sponsor? The
I
city
wish,
of
I wish.
Buffalo.
Well, we had another trade this week.
Ooh,
S-
spicy. Let's hear it.
So this week, uh, Pete reached out to me with an offer,
Who is he
and
not
off
reaching out to?
this week he offered me Elias Pettersson, who he just received from his brother, as we spoke about in last week's episode, and a 19th round pick from Dan, for Chiovo. I can never say this guy's
He's
name.
joining your team. You better get it right.
No, no, I'm trading him.
Oh, you're trading him.
Yeah, I just kept messing up his name, so he requested a trade. Um, Teravainen, I guess the dual wing
Sure.
eligible guy from Chicago, and
Yeah.
around.
What was your thinking behind this trade?
I have been very happy with my centers, with Crosby, Bedard, and Eichel. But Bedard and Eichel have been injured for a while now, and we'll see more about that when we recap the games this week. But I needed somebody who could step in while they're injured. He has the dual eligibility, so he can pop into left wing once those guys come back. So, you know, um, for me, I had no problem with making that trade to fill in that void. And when those two guys are back and healthy, maybe there's an opportunity to make a move with somebody that's eligible for a left wing or a left wing, right wing, or something like
Mm.
that as well. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, all in all, giving a fifth round pick for that, that's fine by me. I'm I think that's a pretty reasonable pick to give up in a year when I'm remaining in the top half of the standings, and I'm hopeful I can make some noise in the playoffs. Let's move on to our matchup of the week last week, which is our face off. And before we
You
dig,
had a pretty big comeback this week.
I did.
Like
I
when we
started.
talked, when the last time we did this podcast, I was already way out.
You were. I made up some ground, but it wasn't enough. You still picked up the win there, so 43-36. But before we dig further into this, we're going to shout out Dan again. Uh, Dan reached out on our YouTube this week with a comment saying he likes to hear that Yahoo does the matchup of the week and all that kind of stuff, but he wants to hear what matchup you and I think are the matchup of the week as well.
I'm flattered he thinks we
Well,
pay enough attention to all the other teams enough to come up with that.
well, Dan, I'll tell you this. This week, week 12, I say without even asking Garrett, I know he agrees with me that the matchup of the week, we agreed with Yahoo this week. It was the two of us.
Completely unbiased. Who are we to argue with Yahoo?
Exactly. For me, and speaking about Dan, my player of the week was Scott Wedgwood.
That shutout.
7.2,
That
big
shutout.
shutout, and a nice couple game return for him after some injury issues. And on your end of things, you actually had a tie. We had Wyatt Johnston for the second time this season getting Player of the Week honors, but you also had Will, where is he? There, Coyle from the
Wow.
Rangers, both
That's
at
big for him.
5.2. Keeping in mind that it was the Christmas week and there were some days off, those numbers are probably going to feel lower than weeks past, but not bad when you played less games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that game in the books, we're both at 7-5, but we'll have a look more at the standings later. Next up, we had Colin in the Tyler Bay Lightning. Um, Colin's player of the week was Max Domi with a 5.5.
He had a big game before Christmas.
I think that's his first time appearing as a player of the week this year. And on Tyler's side of things, I mean, are we sick of saying it yet? Tyler goes the way the Lightning go. Uh, Nikita Kucherov with a 7.4 point week. Second time this year for Kucherov being the player of the week for Ty. But looking at that, we also had a pretty decent week from Vasilevsky. So there you go. The, the Lightning strikes again as Ty picks up a 56 to 42.3 win. Then we had the Bloomingdale Brothers matchup. This was a very close one. Paul ended up with the win, 37.4 to 36.7. For Pete, Matthew Nyes had the player of the week with 7.2. And for Paul, for the second week in a row, it was Connor McDavid with a big 8.3. So, quick side, that's two teams this week that had Maple Leafs players as players of the week. So maybe Mark Savard did need to go. Uh, then we had Rick and Dan face off, another tight
Ooh, a
one.
runner up for matchup of the week.
Absolutely. This one was 39 even to 36.6 win for Rick. He had his player of the week was like Ty, a Tampa Bay player, Darren Radish with a 4.6. And for Dan, it was Mackenzie Weaver from Calgary with a 6.2. Next, we have Garrett Newstrad and Dave facing off, and Garrett picked up the win this week, 44.8 to 32.5. On Garrett's side of things, Zach Hyman with a 5.4 picked up the player of the week. And on Dave's side of things, it was Edmonton's Evan Bouchard with a 6.9. And isn't that appropriate? The Bouchard on the Bouchard team. And finally, Cappy and Marcel. 42.5 for Cappy, 54.3 for Marcel. And on captain's side of things, we had a Hab, Juraj Slavovsky with a 8.7. And on Marcel's side of things, for the third week in a row, Leon Draisaitl with a 7.9. Leon Draisaitl has basically put Marcel's team on his back, eh? So we're gonna jump over to the standings now, and Marcel with the win stays first overall, all by himself. Paul is second overall, all by himself at 8-4. Then you, me, and Colin. We're at 7-5.
But the tiebreaker goes to
It goes to
the
you.
Hughes World Order.
And yeah, by about 4 points there.
3.5, I'll give it to you. Don't
Thanks.
sell yourself short.
Then we have Colin and Ty, even like 500 even record, 6-6. Rick and Dave and Dan at 5-7. Pete at 4-8, and Captain at 3-9. Quick
Happy.
refresh looking into the week that currently is. Yahoo has given the matchup of the week to myself and Paul. I don't know if you want to weigh in on the matchup of the week candidate
It's
yourself
going to be
there.
Garrett and Dave.
And I'm gonna give it to Garrett, other Garrett, and Ty because they're both 6-6. This is gonna be one of
There you
those
go.
ones in
It's
the
gonna be very
middle of the
telling.
pack here that'll kind of do some playoff positioning there. But yeah, I have Paul, and I'm up 16.8 to 14.9. Colin has Rick, and Rick's ahead 24.1 to 11.3.
Projected to
Pete,
just crush Colin.
oh yeah, that 77 to 57. Yeah, I missed the projected. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, who likes Paul 72 to 60 over me? So I'm gonna have to keep piling on this lead here to change Yahoo's mind there. On Pete and Captain, Captain's ahead 19.8 to 14 even, and Yahoo likes Captain quite a bit,
The Battle of
76
the
to
Bottom.
56.
Power
uh,
bottoms, is that what they call?
Something like that.
Two guys trying to fight from the bottom of the standings.
That's right, of the standings.
Of the standings.
Um, Quick shout out to Pete over in our fantasy football league. He matched up with our mutual friend Roberto in the ninth place game and lost. So Pete came 10th in our league, in our fantasy football league. So
But
Pete, win
first in our
this.
fantasy football hearts.
Absolutely. So Pete, let's get out of the basement of the fantasy hockey league, buddy.
You're better than this.
You are. Garrett, I I almost said his last name wrong there. Anyways, other Garrett, 17.4 versus Ty, who's at 25.5 already, and Yahoo likes him 77 to 62 on the projections. And you've got Dave. Dave is up 18.8 to 16.3, and Yahoo likes Dave 71 to 67. They have a little work to do there to catch up. Um, Dan and Marcel. Dan is up right now 20.8 to 14.6, and the projections are pretty tight, 66.45 for Dan, 67.16 for Marcel. So, you know what, Dan? I changed my mind. You're my matchup of the week. Go get him, buddy. Go do the upset.
I'm not changing
Um,
mine.
Fair enough. What's up, everyone? Thank you for following along as we looked forward into week 13 and reviewed week 12. We're going to have a special bonus episode for you this week. Stay tuned and check your podcatcher or the YouTube page. And we'll call it your New Year's gift from us.
The Money Sauce Podcast with your hot saucy J and G.